Hello everybody. So it's been a while since I've actually recorded a video, and I wanted to bring it back by playing a Minecraft map called the Hypercube, and it's about exploring the fourth dimension. So I'm gonna have a good time with that. This map was made by someone named Flo. I don't know them too well. I don't know them at all, but they seem to be really good at making maps, so I'm gonna expect a lot from this. I think this starts the map. I should probably take the in-depth tutorial. I'll look at the 3D example first. Welcome to the Hypercube. The Hypercube is a puzzle map in which there are 4 spatial dimensions, one more than the 3 our universe has. What will be visible in the game at one time will be 3-dimensional. A 4th dimension is possible to visualize and display in our world. Because of this, we need to show 3-dimensional slices of the 4D world. A good way to understand what this means is to look at an example in one less dimension. Take this 3D world and this player. The player's goal is to reach the gold block. The problem is the player is a 2-dimensional character that lives in a 2-dimensional plane. Because of this, he cannot see the whole world at once. He can only see a slice of it. This is a slice that the player sees. To him, there is no way that he can get past that wall. However, he does have a special power. He can rotate his plane of existence. Now he can move across another dimension. Using this, he can move around the wall and get to the gold block. After rotating it again, he is now facing the same direction as before. However, he can now on a different position on the 3rd dimension. To us, it makes sense how this movement works because we can see the whole 3-dimensional world at once. However, as you saw in this demonstration, the player can only see slices of the 3D world. To him, it appears as if the world is somehow transforming and morphing around him when he rotates. However, all that is happening is that his point of view is being rotated. When you enter the world of the Hypercube, the world will be 4-dimensional. However, you will only be able to see the 3D slices. When you rotate your plane of view, your x-axis will be switched with the w-axis. There are 7 levels. Good luck. Check this tutorial again whether you like. Alright, cool. That was a very interesting demonstration. I will use that to my advantage. Now we're going to take the in-depth tutorial to see if I'll be able to understand this. Course 1. What is a dimension? By definition, a dimension is a measurable extent of a particular kind. For example, length, width, height, etc. Our universe exists in 3 dimensions. This is like the X, Y, Z axis, I believe. There are 3 axes of our universe. They represent a direction an object can have a position or size on. If we were to remove a dimension, we'd have a flat plane. If we were to have just one dimension, it would be a line. That's right. It would kind of suck if we only live in one dimension. Course 2, picture the 4th dimension. What happens if we add a dimension? We can imagine how 4-dimensional space would work. However, it is impossible to view 4-dimensional space due to our own world being 3-dimensional. Let's elaborate on why that is the case. Let's say that this wool pattern is a 2-dimensional world. It is a flat plane. On it there is a 2-dimensional being black wool that is looking in the direction of the cyan wool. The other wool squares are objects. Let me read that again. There's a 2D being, which is the black wool, and is looking in the direction of the black wool, the cyan wool. So it's looking this way. The image that the creature is seeing is a line. The creature lives in the 2-dimensional plane and does not see the plane from above like we can. On this wall is a line depicting what the black square sees. That's right. The creature cannot see past the walls of the gray box and cannot see the pink square inside it. Analogous to this gray cube contains a pink block inside it. You cannot see it because of the walls of the cube. However, 4-dimensional seeing can see the whole cube and the block in it. A lot of understanding four-dimensional is based on analogies. Of course, 3 slices. A two-dimensional being cannot see a three-dimensional object all at once. However, it can piece it together by seeing slices of it. Let's understand what this means. Let's say that this 3x3x3 cube will slowly go down through the plane. As it did so, the creature would see intersections of the cube with the plane, essentially two-dimensional slices. This is what the plane would look like with the cube intersecting it. If the block went in 1 block per second, the plane would look like this for 3 seconds, as the cube has 3 blocks in the 3rd dimension. What? Yeah, I said that right. Here's a quick exercise to check if you understood object slices. What slices would this shape produce if it went through a plane? I can see what kind of shape it would make. Yeah, first it would make that shape, and then it would not make that shape. If it passed through down, then it would have this shape sort of, but it will also have a shape right there. Excuse me. There's a small sickness going around in my house. Where is this going through exactly? Because this is a weird way for it to be demonstrated. Okay, this is the real pattern that would go through right here. Let's see, we'll go down right there. There are 3 blocks there, and there's 1 block there, so that would be right. There are 4 blocks on the 2nd layer, so it would look like that, and there's 2 blocks on the 3rd layer, so it would look like that up there. Not quite sure where these 2 patterns come from, but I'm pretty sure they have something to do with one of the things right here. I don't have the time to examine it that much. The correct answer is, oh, that makes sense now. Okay. Good to know. Jeez, we got a long section here. Course for analogies and 4-dimensional shapes. In the previous course, we saw how 3-dimensional shapes can intersect a plane, allowing a 2-dimensional creature to see slices of the object. In a similar way, we can see 3-dimensional slices of a 4-dimensional object. Take this upside-down pyramid. On the left, we can see an animation of what the pyramid would look like passing through a 2-dimensional plane. That makes sense. As we've established, analogy is fundamental to understanding how 4-dimensional shapes work. If we want to find out what 3-dimensional slices a 4-dimensional pyramid would produce, we can add a dimension to our example. This means instead of slices being increasingly larger squares, there would be increasingly larger cubes. These are the slices of a 4-dimensional pyramid would produce. What happens if you rotate the pyramid to the side? The slices would be different. This is also the case for hyperpyramids, that they can be rotated too. What 4-dimensional object produces these slides? Try to think of the equivalent effect in one less dimension. It might just be a regular cube. The original answer is a hypercube. That makes sense. What about this one? I think that would be a hypersphere. No, it's not a hypersphere. If a 3D sphere were to intersect the plane, its slices would be circles that progressively get bigger. So then it would be a cylinder. Yeah. A spherender. Okay. This is a normal cylinder. If we were to take slices of it, there would be circles that stay constant and didn't change in size. And 1 plus dimensions, you would get a spherender. Kind of a weird object. Alright, cool. I'm not sure if I understand some of this though. What's the deal with this? It's not even a hypercube, it's just a cube and a cube. Oh. Hold on, let me turn up the volume so you can hear better. There we go. Level 1, 4 dimensions. Ooh, okay. So, remember the tutorial. So, okay, so if I were walking a two-dimensional plane, I could rotate like that. But now it's three-dimensional, so I'm not sure what would happen. Let me try using it here. Whoa! Hold on a second. Let's just remove the wall entirely. What if I go? Whoa! This is quite interesting. Hard to understand what's happening. Okay. Okay, so I'm rotating along that axis. What if I go here? Nothing. I think I have to change my height. No? Yeah, I'm not quite sure what to do here. Ow. So I'm basically rotating. Whoa. Let me rethink that. Hold on a second. Okay, so I can't just do that. So, it's weird to understand how the fourth dimension works. So it's all completely grass on this side. So if I switch dimensions, there's a bit of sand. Why does a tree do that? Let me go right under the tree. This is weird. Okay, so now I'm basically passing through the wall. Now I need to step in here. Oh, there we go. I think I sort of understand how to use it. Okay, still not know yet. Let me stand close to this side. Hey, is there a way for me to exit the level? I kind of want to know that. Okay, it's still not normal yet for some reason. How will I make sure that it looks normal? Because I'm on the other side of the wall, but it's not fixed yet. Yeah, I'm not quite sure I still understand this correctly. It's still a bit of a weird concept for me to grasp. So it might take me a little while to understand this correctly. Go back. Down here? That might have done something. No. Maybe I just keep going this way? No, I don't. So then, what do I do? Since I'm on the other side of the wall, it should be good, right? But apparently it isn't. But now I can go like this and I'll be back on the other side. What's going on here? Still not quite sure yet. Okay, here's the tree again. Huh. No, go back. Let me stand up here. And then let me go over here. And back at the wall again. I need to watch an instructional video because I do not understand this at all. So... Nope, I don't want that on. Please just give me 1 second.
The world is three-dimensional. It makes sense after all. We can only define up to 3 directions, each at a right angle to each other, that don't interact with each other. No matter how far left or right you go, you won't move up at all. But the moment we try to add another dimension into the mix, it all breaks down. No matter how hard you try, in our three-dimensional universe you can't lay out 4 or more directions that won't interact. Now I know what some people are thinking. Can we consider time a dimension? In simple terms, it does make sense. We can measure time and tell one point in time from another in a linear sense. 4 hours later is always 4 hours later, just like how 4 feet to the left is always 4 feet to the left. Heck, you could even make time act like a spatial dimension. Try to picture what it would be like to live on the surface of a sheet of paper. You can no longer jump up or down off the paper, because up and down don't exist to you anymore. You can't look up off the paper either. All you can do is look forward across the paper. When you do look in front of you, you'll see a horizontal line, and in that line you'll see the edges of other 3D figures. Imagine a circle in a box. Clearly to us, as three-dimensional beings, we can see the circle in the box, but to a two-dimensional being, the sides of the box would prevent anyone from seeing inside. Also consider that whenever something casts a shadow onto, say, a wall, the shadow forms a line on the wall. Of course, to you, all the walls would be lines anyways, so you wouldn't really notice. Let's bring that same situation into 3 dimensions. As you look around, all you can see are 2-dimensional objects, just like how even the box in 2 dimensions looks like nothing more than a line. Since you can only view it from one side at a time, the front of the box in 3 dimensions only looks like a square. Also, suppose the ball is still in the box, but now it's a sphere inside a cubic box. We still can't see it now because all of the sides are still covered. The shadow the box casts on the wall looks different. Instead of just being a line like before, now it's a flat 2D shape. If you wanted, you could even trace it onto paper and get a 2D drawing out of it. One of the first things you would notice if you looked in a 4D space is that you would see the world as a 3D shape, in a similar way to how you view a 3D world and can put it onto a 2D picture. But there's one catch. You can see all the sides of a shape. Remember how if you were to put a circle in a 2D box, you could still see it looking down from above in 3D? Well, now in 4D, you can see every side of the 3D box when looking down on it, including seeing the ball inside. Are you freaked out yet? After you get over the bit of wonder you experience being able to see inside of the box, you might also notice that another 4D box is casting a shadow on the wall. And the shadow, it's a 3D shape. Yes, just like how 2D space has linear shadows, 3D space has 2D shadows, here in 4D space we have 3-dimensional shadows. What would one of these shadows look like? Here's an example. This is called a tesseract, which is the shadow you would get from casting light through a 4D cube. Notice how it's made of 2 cubes connected at the vertices, just like how you can draw a cube on paper from 2 squares and connecting the corners. Now the tesseract looks weird enough sitting still, but watch what happens the moment you start rotating it. I'll give you a moment to clean up your mind, which is most likely at this point exploded. Yes, that's what the shadow of a 4D cube looks like when the cube rotates. Why does it do this, where the middle cube stretches out to become the outer cube? Let's take a look at the shadow of a 3D cube. First, note the 2 squares. One is smaller than the other because of perspective, making further objects appear smaller. But if you follow the small square, you'll see that it moves to the other side, before eventually moving to the front of the cube and becoming the big square. Now watch the tesseract again. The little cube, because of 4D perspective, when rotated to be closer, becomes bigger, while the big cube rotates to be smaller. So just like in a 3D cube, where the big and little squares switch places, in a 4D cube, the big and little cubes will switch places. All in all, 4-dimensional space isn't all that bad. In fact, with the proper understanding of what will happen, one can devise some clever shapes that do things we can't even imagine doing in 3D space. Ever hear of a Mobius strip?
Let's go back to the game. So maybe I could have a better understanding of how to do this. So, okay, so oh, so it tells me my W coordinates, which is interesting. So it's just a YZW. So I switch my X to my W. What is my X? My X is this way. And then my W, switch to my W. So this way. Let me switch it now and change my W to positive 8. And then the tree's gone. Let me change that. I'm gonna go back to 5. And then the tree's back. So I should remember that 5 is the normal W coordinate. Let's go this way and change the W to a negative. Oh, hold on, actually. Whoa, that's a bit interesting. Okay, that's a little interesting. Let me go back here. Yeah, I don't think I'll be able to. Oh, it seems that I've done it. Okay, so in order to find myself to the exit, I have to make sure that the W stays a certain number as to when I was back here. So I guess that makes sense. So what happened here? I need to figure that out again. So I do that. I change my W to 1. And then my X changes. And then I change my Y back. Okay, so I'm starting to get the hang of it now. It's starting to make a little more sense. Alright. Well, that's good to figure out. These lights are glowstone tesseracts. Okay. These stone hyperpyramids that have a location. I'm assuming that the exit is inside the box. Okay, so there's a tree there. Let me find the tree. Oh, there it is. Now, what could this be? Let me move along the W axis around here. And then there's a little more space back here. Oh, there's the exit. But how would I get up there? I need to get up there somehow. Let me stand on this cube. Get up here. Get back. I don't think that helps much. So, we go here. Nothing would change. So, I'm gonna stay up here and look around a little bit more. I might be able to jump up there. No, I can't. I have to figure out how to do that otherwise. Okay, so now I can get on here. And I can go up these. Then I'll be up here. I have to make my W a specific number. Oh, there's nothing there. Yeah, 13 is the winning number. But I need to figure out how to get up there. How? Now I can get up here. If I stand here. Huh. This isn't making 100% sense. And that's annoying the hell out of me. Let me try to go here. Then how do I get to the exit? Should I, yeah, I should check out the tree. See where that takes me. I'm starting to better understand the geometry of how this. Oh, hey! Great! Hypercrystal caves. An object in the fourth dimension has 4 sides: width, height, length, and strength. So what is strength? It's like the length and size? You can remove terracotta blocks by standing on the same color wool. So I have to get up there. Or somewhere else. That's red wool. Let's see. So I need to get up there, eh? Alright. Let me change my height. So then I'm up here. Oh, there's the exit. Okay, I'll remember that W8 is left up here. Let's go up here now. And then I'll go here. Oh, here's the red wool. So then we go back. And then I'll be able to go up here. Oh, hey. I gotta get past that though. Oh, there we go. So I need to find that orange wool. Because the exit is past there. I might be able to make that jump. Am I? Yeah. Yeah! Yeah! Ender cube. So what's up with this? Okay, there's a sign up there. I'm gonna go here. No, that does not help. I should be able to get up there. Oh, hey! Glad I found that. Ugh. No, it doesn't change it. I did get rid of the orange wool. So, oh, here. That does not change anything. Oh, hey. What's up with this? Come on, get in the same side. Oh, okay. Where's the yellow wool up there? Let me jump up here. Very cool. I'll be able to go here. And then up here. This red barrier's strength is 2 blocks. Okay. I'm gonna be able to get that. Should I stand here? Oh, there's the exit. Yeah, I need to be able to reach that. But how? But how? So many questions that I need answered. Actually, let me just stand here. Nope, that doesn't help. Okay, so it's, yeah, right. The W axis is attached to the X axis. Oh, what? When did that happen? Not cool. When did that happen? Go back up here. Go up here. Go up here. There we go. Then up here. Ow. Then where would I go? Oh, I just saw the red wool. It was over there. Need to get over this. There we go. that jump. There we go. And that doesn't need to be changed. Oh, up here. Ah, alright. I'm using my brain. Let's see, actually. There's a small chance I'll be able to make that. So, I just broke the red barrier. And that went down. I'm still a bit confused about how the size changes when I do things like this. Okay, let me go back up here. Then... I need to get back in the right spot. So... Ow! Jeez. Reset my W position. Still don't know what the original W position was, actually. I wish I did. Okay, I think it's about... Yeah, 6. 6 is the winning position. Ah, come on. Okay, I'm back here. I know I'm able to make this jump. Yeah! So now I have to get this open somehow. I'm getting close. So W7 would allow me to get to there. So basically I just have to walk twice and reset my W position. It was 7, wasn't it? Yeah, it was. Okay. Yes. So then I'll set my W to 6. Then there we have it. Alright. Dimensional frost. Okay. So, where would the exit be? Is it in here? It's probably in here. So I'll try to get in. That doesn't let me in. Huh. Okay, so there's that. Oh, fire. Hey! Where's the entrance? So I'm in here now. That's great. I thought there was something. Good to know. Yeah, fire, man. What's the fire doing there? Shouldn't be there in the first place. It's literally snowing. How can there be fire here? I'm just exploring. I don't really have a solution in mind yet. Okay, this Wi-Fi was in my original position. Let me try to find the exit here. So, 3. Six. Is that it? No, it's not it. 4. 4 is not the exit, but it looks like I need to get up there. But I don't have a way to get up there, which kind of sucks. Oh, maybe I do. Hold on. Yes. Okay, now we're getting somewhere. Alright. So, I got rid of that. Now what? I might be able to get there. Huh! Yes. then I can get this. Yes, parkour. Parkour, man. I'm good at it. Do not underestimate me and my parkour skills. Never underestimate my parkour skills. So, where's the exit? That's what I need to do. Wait, what? Water? Water? What the heck is water doing here? Whoa, hey. Hey, there's the exit. So it was W8. Good to know. I need to get up there. But how do I do that? It's literally hidden in another dimension. How can I get there? Okay, so it's like a miniature dimension that I'm going through when I change my W. The time changes whenever I do that, which is kind of strange. So there's no more orange that I can use to get anywhere. So I'm gonna have to improvise a little bit. Oh, hey. I'll get up here. Ah, okay. There we go. Now, just need to make this jump. There we go. Great. Just great. Create checkpoint. What? What does that mean? Use the orange crystal placed or teleport to a checkpoint. You can only access the crystal when at XYZ. Okay. It's a little strange to think about. Oh, hey. Huh. I think I'm stuck. Okay, so I'm gonna have to start over. Let me just place this here. Obviously, there's a trap around here. I think when I go too far away, I lose it. Alright, cool. I need to get in there. So, let me just do this. I don't have to do that, but I did it, so. Oh. Well then how would I... Huh. That doesn't make sense. Okay. Let me stand on this cactus. The cactus not harm me? It doesn't harm me. Huh. Interesting. It's probably not even a cactus. Nothing here. Not quite sure where to go now. Just got rid of a way to get back up there. No. I need to get on one of these cactuses. Oh, hey, that sign goes with it. That's nice to know. So I need to get back up there somehow, but I can't. Really. I need to get the orange thing. I think I'm just going in circles now. This is really helping me too much. Okay. I'm gonna go here. Let me check this side first. Nothing here. Let's go back this way. Nothing here either. Oh, there is this. I need to get up there. So I need to find a way to get there. I need to get on that platform I saw earlier. This looks like a place for a pyramid, yep. Stand on top of here. Stand here. Get up here. Nope, can't do that. There's so much involved with going through dimensions, man. I'm not quite sure how to get up there. I need to get higher. But how do I do that? The only way to get higher is to get on top of the cactus. I need to get on this one. Yeah, I can do that from here. I think I can. Just let me do a couple tries. There we go. And let me go up here. And I'm back here. Let me get on that one. This one right here. What? It's just confusing. It doesn't help me much. Yeah, it doesn't help me at all. Well then, where do I go? There's nowhere for me to go. Get that. How can I get up here? Let me stand here. No, that would just get rid of it. I need to get there, but I can't. And that's a bit of a problem for me. Okay, it's lower now. Stand here. That doesn't help. Stand here. That doesn't help much. How high is this? Yeah, it's not high enough for me. Oh, wait. I'm able to do that. I know I am. Come on. Yeah. Oh, I had it. Come on, give it to me. Give it to me. I know this is how you do it. Yeah. Okay, this is the classic problems to solve right here. And we'll be back here. Yes. So now I should be good to go. Oh, hey, there's that. I don't have much of a need for the orange crystal. So we just try to figure out where I have to go from here. Okay, so it's open now. I need to get on the same height as to where I'll be able to get up there. No. I need to be on the same x-axis as the thing. And it's got a bunch of platforms. How would I get up there? How would I? There's nothing that seems like it could help me much. Yeah, it's not helping me. What do I do? Yeah, this isn't helping. I'm not sure how to get on there. There's not really a way for me to do it, which is kind of unfortunate. How? I think I have an idea. It'll probably work. Here, get this, go to the checkpoint, go here, then make the checkpoint. Now we have to launch thing. It's like that. Where is it? Ah, over here. Yep. Here, go up here, go through the wall, activate this, go to the checkpoint, and here we are. Huh. Should have thought of that earlier. Oh, let's go back. Let's go back again. Lots of quite difficult jumps here. Let's triple it again in case I fall. I fell. Let's go back. There we go. Okay. The timing of that is quite interesting. Okay, so this is the final stage. I've got to make quite a lot of decisions here. Go up here. I can make this jump, but I'm gonna do that just in case. Oh, apparently I can die. That's gonna suck. There's probably no point in making a checkpoint because I know. That sucks. I don't think I can make that jump. It kind of sucks. Then again, I might be able to. I just need to. There we go. Just had to get it right. Okay, where am I? Not the right spot. That's where I am. Need to activate something first. No. How am I supposed to get over there? I can't really. Yeah. Hard jumps, man. Not cool. Huh. This sucks. There we go. Nothing here. Let's go in this section. Nothing here. Let's go in this section. There is something here. Huh. We try that again. Okay, let's go over here. Go in here. Carefully go around it. Do this. Can I find something like this? Probably not. Nothing. I just have to go back to that area. Something was definitely activated over there. So I need to go back. Somehow. Don't think that jump is possible. I'll have to figure out another way. Somehow. Well then. Oh, I should have set. Okay. I just had a checkpoint here. Okay. Let's jump there. Over here. Make this jump. Have to do that. Make the jump. Get back here. Oh, just do this. Don't really have to do that. I'm back here. Go up here. Then I have to somehow make that jump on the first try. No, it's really difficult, man. Oh, I gotta. Oh, I forgot to set the checkpoint. Okay. Let me just go ahead and set up here. There we go. Ah, there we go. Up here. I can also go that way. Oh, there's the exit. Cool. I feel like I have to set the checkpoint here. It's probably a good idea to do that. That'll activate something. Ow. I'll be able to go up here. Then I have to activate the yellow wool. So that'll be fun. Then activate the checkpoint. And here I go. Nice. Had a great time. Oh man. Hey. Guess I was successful. Good job to Flow. Quite a good game you've made, sir. Okay. Well, that was great. Hope you enjoyed this. And if you want to play the game yourself, you should be able to find it on the Minecraft Maps page by searching the Hypercube. It's a pretty interesting map. Once you get the hang of it, it shouldn't be that hard to be able to do things. And yeah, so thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video.